Good day, sir.
Greetings, Tsepo. Greetings, Tinashe. Greetings, Victor. Welcome to Intercept, Developer Experience Working Group Session. Welcome, Ali, Simali Ali.
Hello, sir. How are you?
Fine. Yeah, really welcome. Thank you. Let's give others maybe 4 minutes, then we start. Then they will find us along the way.
Okay, sir.
Yeah, awesome.
We rise on tech that'll never fall. Secure and smart, it outshines all. 2025 Voltaire ignites. Governance born in blockchain lights. Voices echo through the digital stage. From nation to nation, it's a global wave. We ride the rhythm, steer the helm. Cardano's charge, a rising realm. We're on the wave. Cardano's truth, full destiny, for justice. These Cardano, from country to country, we're breaking through. Real fire rising, dreams come true. Midnight whispering secret tunes, OL2 scaling, here we bloom. Light shines, hearts on fire, Pluto's rolling and run like tunes. No bugs, no breaks, shredding streets, Cardano beats, all to dreams. Govern smart and neat. Contracts dancing to the DeFi beat. We live this pulse and pride. Cardano's rhythm, worldwide stride. Yeah, in the coming years we elevate. Layer 2 scale we innovate. We rock, we roll on mithril light while it's sinking seconds out of sight. Hydra drenches every quest. Speed and strength we give our best. One system, one for one code aligned. Beyond the moon we redefine. We be in Cardano family. What we bring. Centralized destiny. Where we go. Global and infinite. What we sing. Cardano's heartbeat. Cardano's heartbeat. You are the one. Cardano safe. The Cardano speed. Text speed. One chain for tree complete. That's Cardano, the global being. It's more than code, it's a revolution. Me and you, blockchain inclusion. From dreams to deeds, we stand on chain. Global heartbeat, no more pain.
Good evening, sir.
Morning.
It's more than code, it's a revolution. Me and you brought chain inclusion from dreams to deeds. We stand on chain. Global heartbeat, no more pain.
Greetings, welcome everyone to the Intersect session, which is Developer Experience Working Group. All of you, you are welcome. Feel free. We are going to learn about new, exciting Cardano technologies. And a lot of you, this technology that is coming with Cardano is going to give you opportunities for jobs. It's going to give you opportunities for business. It's going to give us opportunities to be different in the world. When I say in the world, throughout the world. It is one of the technologies that Cardano is proud of. You are going to learn about it today. Right, we are starting now. Those that are coming, they will find us on the way. Right, let me share my screen and introduce some of you. They are very new to Intersect. Right, you need information about who is Intersect. Just go to your browser and type intersectmpo.org. I can give you this. This website is important because in future, you want to contribute to the Intersect community. You can become a member there. There is an associate membership where you don't pay anything. You get information about the updates about Cardano technologies that are happening. Or you can take the other one that gives you more opportunities, like you want to run for seats, for committee seats, you want to be a voter. And that one is not expensive also, it's just $10 a year. Right. That one is important. You can check there under Intersect. Our area, this one for developers, is open source. That is where you are going to find developer advocates. We are 4 developer advocates there. If you check, it is myself, Sukanya, Udai, and Alex. One is from Canada, South Africa, India, and the other one is from the East. Okay, we are going to start our exciting session right now. So I'm going to give you a link to some of you who are very new, where to find this information. When you get lost, you can find this information when you come to Oxygen.co universities, and then you go to the GitHub site. Or when you are going to the GitHub site, you can find github.com, WIMS.io, and then you are going to see go to Universities Wiki. Why I'm referring you to this link is because 2 weeks back, we have already started touching on critical Cardano technologies. So last week, those who were there, although there were very few, we explored another very exciting technology called Hydra under layer 2 solutions for Cardano. We looked at the why, the what, and the how of Hydra, and I gave you the links. So those who were not here 2 weeks back, you can visit it here on this link. Right, today we are going to touch Midnight, ZKP. We are going to look at what is Midnight, what is ZKP, why, and how these technologies. These are one of the fast, what you call it, the trending technologies on Cardano, and they will trend for the next coming years. So here is the link that helps you to connect. Keep this link, because at some point in time, when people ask you, why have you chosen Cardano instead of Ethereum, instead of Solana? They don't have these technologies. And they are going to be learning these technologies to improve their blockchains. Okay, let us get on to Midnight straight away. Right. So I'm going to play a clip that explains this in detail for you, so that you hear also the sound.
IOG, the parent company behind the Cardano blockchain, announced that they are working on launching a new sidechain called Midnight with the native token Dust. The main feature of the new chain is to focus on data protection and privacy. In this lesson, we'll learn more about Midnight and zero-knowledge proof technology. To better understand the features of Midnight, let's first take a closer look at zero-knowledge proofs. ZKP first appeared in computer science and cryptography and is now being used in blockchain. The main principle of the protocol's work is verifying information with minimum knowledge shared between the parties. This helps with security. For example, someone demonstrates that they know a password without sharing the password itself, but instead revealing some characteristic of it just enough for the other party to verify it. There are 2 main principles: completeness, where the prover can show that they know the information with high probability, and soundness, where the verifier has to be capable of determining the possession of this information accurately. The protocol is widely used when security and privacy are essential. According to Charles Hoskinson, Midnight is going to allow developers to create dApps with enhanced protection of information to defend companies and individuals from leaks or censorship of their data. The company is planning to achieve this using zero-knowledge proof smart contracts. The goal is to prevent financial manipulation and crimes while still allowing for privacy. Another focus of Midnight is to enable developers to use a common programming language such as JavaScript, making building on top of the platform a seamless experience. The project is planning to work with different businesses. They are collaborating with the Hyperledger Consortium, an entity where large companies use blockchain technology for tasks such as supply chain management and logistics. The developers hope that Midnight is going to make the Cardano blockchain more valuable. It's expected that users who stake on the Cardano network will receive Dust token in addition to their ADA tokens as an incentive. Currently, the project is still in development, with a launch date still to be announced by IOG. In conclusion for this lesson, the announcement of the Midnight sidechain together with its native token Dust is a part of the next phase of the Cardano roadmap. The team plans to turn the network into a completely independent ecosystem during the stage of development. The project aims to achieve true decentralization and give participants the opportunity to decide the future of the network. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to like and subscribe for more content like this. Another great way to help support the creation of this content is to delegate to Kaizen stake pools. Join us for our next episode of the Cardano 101 course, where we'll discuss stablecoins built on Cardano and the role that they will play in the future of DeFi.
Thanks a lot to Kaizen Crypto for this very clear and interesting introduction to Midnight. I'm going to summarize a bit, a few terms that you came across. I want you, where you are in different communities, to be able to answer these three questions. Why Cardano? You say Cardano has got super technologies. Give an example, Midnight. What is Midnight? It is a side chain. We've got Cardano, which is a blockchain we all know about. And on the Cardano, it is using ADA. And then Midnight is a Cardano side chain. What token is it using? It is using Dust. And there is a trending message that all those who are having ADA, the Cardano ADA holders, are going to receive dust, some liquid dust onto their wallets for free. You can check it there before it starts. You might get through this distribution of free dust. Normally blockchains, when they start, they sometimes give free away tokens. And those tokens, when it is starting, they are very low, but after 5, 6, 7 years, those tokens will have huge value. But here is another takeaway. This side chain is using a technology which is called ZKP. ZKP is a technology where you can prove to someone about something about yourself without revealing unnecessary information. Zero knowledge proof is one technology which is very, very popular in all blockchains. Ethereum, on other Bitcoin, and Cardano is now also joining the lead in zero knowledge proof applications. So you can say, what can I give an example of how this ZKP works? I will give you an example, a short one. Let's suppose there is an event where people who are of a certain category or qualification are the only ones permitted to enter. And then you qualify. But when you get in there, on our normal situations, they are going to ask you for certain things that are not related, things like, where's your ID? And then when you give them your ID, you've given them a lot of information. They can even see, okay, this is a female, this is a male, your date of birth, now where you were born, all these information. Sometimes you end up even telling them where you stay. Yet that event was only maybe an event for, let's say, a party. But the information you leave there, the organizers receive. It's a way lot. ZKP prevents that. When you get to the event on ZKP, you just prove you qualify. Then they are going to pose a few questions, and then you answer those questions. Then their system authenticates you that you qualify without revealing a lot of other necessary information there. It is a privacy protocol. We all know privacy is very important. So this is the takeaway we have from the video. Now let us go to the what is Midnight in detail, the text, and why and how. When you click this, it takes you straight to the most important documentation of Midnight by the Midnight team. So here, this information, I believe, is the original source to be visiting all the time. So let me give you the link. This one here. But let's go through it. And then from there, we will have discussions, questions about this technology. What is midnight? Right, here is the situation here. Governments have privileged information, which is very true. Every government has got information about its own country, which they do not want other countries to know. If I can give you a very painful example of the East, in the wars of the East. One country, we had students, scientists, and professors working on the technology of that country. About 12, if I'm not wrong, more than 10. Their information was leaked to another country and they were assassinated. So it's an example to say all governments have privileged information which they don't want to share, but they also want to interact with all other governments without revealing certain sensitive data. Here's the second situation. Businesses have trade secrets because businesses are competing. This you all know. And then we also have got inventors, creators, and researchers. They've got IP, intellectual property ownership, which they want to protect. Then we've got consumer-facing businesses, including healthcare providers and financial institutions like banks. They have customers' personal data. So data protection for all these cases is very important. Actually, in every country, it is required by law that data and information, be it online or not online, be kept private and confidential. This is where this technology comes into play. So Input-Output Global, IOG, one of the three founders, Cardano, is developing Midnight sidechain to help organizations mentioned above and individuals mentioned above, including me and you, to meet these privacy challenges. Right. We have got developer tools. It is open source. Marvelous. So it means all developers are free to go onto GitHub, get that source code, see how it works, expand it, develop other use cases or other businesses, and make money or become big or contribute on the actual Midnight repository. So the next thing is security. That one I've stressed it. And then compliance with different organizations and companies. So here, this diagram that we see here, you see Midnight side chain of Cardano in the middle. On the top left, the government, top right, inventors, bottom right, consumers, bottom left, businesses. What is this Midnight side chain doing? It is preserving the privacy data of all these interacting essential organizations. Currently, at what stage is it? Is it running on mainnet? According to this, currently, Midnight is on testnet. Sometimes if you want to master it, I can assure you, Midnight is one of the trending technologies of the future in Cardano. The earlier you get into it, probably as a tester or as somebody who is going to sell some of the services, they are coming out of Midnight. Midnight is going to spin up businesses. You know, state pool operators, when they were starting, we didn't get into them. But today they are the richest businesses in Cardano. Midnight is coming also with similar businesses. So quickly, let me read. Midnight is a data protection blockchain designed to safeguard user data while focusing on security, compliance, and developer experience. Midnight empowers developers and businesses by offering secure environment that eases the development of decentralized applications dApps that give users control over their data while supporting compliance with the relevant regulations. Right, you can read the details here. I'm going to now look at the rationale or reason why. I think you already have reasons to say this is a good technology, but it is more than that. There are three major power or features of this. The first one, it is freedom of association. So collaborate through open rules agreed upon by your community or consortium. It gives you this freedom of association without fear of your personal information being compromised. Right, decentralized marketplaces, the freedom of commerce. Exchange value securely in regulatory friendly way without centralized gatekeepers. And then centralized media, freedom of expression. You candidly share your ideas with a global ecosystem without fear of censorship. Those are the three main, they are called ACE, freedoms that drive Midnight's philosophy and use case. Right. The world needs technology that supports and protects these freedoms instead of threatening them. When people do not have these basic freedoms, they are unable to connect to the rest of the world. Or when they do connect, they are compromised. Midnight provides technology that empowers individuals to associate with their chosen peers. And decentralized identity is core to Midnight interactions as it empowers users. Here is another term that you need to know to explain to people, which is called the decentralized technology, decentralized identity. Right, I'm going to play you another video, this one from Charles himself. Listen to what Charles says. So let me play it on YouTube. And then so that I can make the screen bigger. And then let me change sharing so that you can hear the volume.
A wet or dry cough. Hello?
Don't take a chance. Take Vicks Acta Plus. Unlike other cough syrups, its dual action formula relieves both wet and dry cough. Vicks Acta Plus.
So what if I told you that we've been working on another cryptocurrency? Yeah. And what if I told you you already have it? Well, are you going to get it? Oh, okay, you're interested. We have this thing called Midnight. Now, I was in Malta. I'll never forget it. We were in Malta, and I was eating at this lovely Sicilian restaurant, and we were talking about the need for privacy. And we looked at Monero and Zcash and all these other things, and we're like, we could do so much better. And we're like, yeah. And I said, wouldn't it be cool if, you know, we started working on this? And we said, yeah, okay. So later on, I went to Israel for Eurocrypt, and we said, we need to have a privacy coin. We need to have something that has privacy built at the core, but we had no idea what the hell that meant. So I said, okay, let's just hire a lot of really brilliant people. So we got a zero knowledge expert, Markov, and all these other people, and we just started writing papers. We wrote Sonics and Kachina and all this other stuff. And we talked a lot about what would be required to have three properties, things that we think are human rights, which the blockchain space is not covering right now, and they're collectively called ACE. Freedom of association, freedom of commerce, and freedom of expression. Okay. So we said, okay, how do we achieve a system that gives us confidentiality, has privacy built right in its guts, right in its core, and gives us the ability to associate with the people we want to engage in commercial transactions that we think are legitimate, lawful, and to express ourselves. Why? Because our company operates in more than 60 countries. There's over 152 countries represented with Catalyst alone. Not every one of those countries, believe it or not, it's a surprise to me, has rule of law. Not every one of those countries protects its minorities. And it's very important that we have tools that enable us to protect those people, to fight back against these types of things. And it's also very important that we understand that as cryptocurrencies become more nuanced by law and by necessity, it's very important that we keep the things that we do on them confidential to the general public. And if you disagree with that, how many people here are fully comfortable with their entire Amazon shopping history being public to everyone? Show of hands. No, don't even try. Or all of your Google web searches being fully public to everybody. Everything you've ever bought being fully, no, of course not. Why? Because you have an expectation, even though you trust maybe Google or don't trust, at least you trust their behavior, that they're, if you get in a debate with them and say, God, for a guy that Googles dogs so much, you really ought to keep it down. You know they're not going to use these types of things, or at least you'd hope so. The problem is that those institutions, the trust we have in them is being violated on a daily basis. The issue is that those institutions are as corroded as the rest. Surveillance capitalism is a thing. There's great books about it. There's so many people who feel that they need to get some of their identity back, some of their power back. And one of the reasons why a lot of people sign up for cryptocurrencies is they mistakenly believe that cryptocurrencies have this capability. They mistakenly believe that cryptocurrencies will give them privacy and freedom of expression, association, and commerce. I did an interview this morning with a news agency, and we showed off Symphony of Blockchain. One of the magical things about that experience is we were able to start from January 3rd, 2009, and visually walk through every transaction that ever happened in Bitcoin's history. That doesn't really sound like you have a lot of transactional privacy there, right? If I can build a VR experience to do that, anyone else can. So we constructed Midnight to basically bring this back, but we wanted to go above and beyond just privacy. We wanted to explore new boundaries and concepts, confidentiality. So this idea that it's private to the public, but you can do voluntary or involuntary disclosures depending upon the business domain. So regulated activities are great examples of that. The Bank Secrecy Act, your bank can't go and tell your neighbor, well, this is how much money Jer has, and this is what he spends his money on. That would be a crime in almost every regulated jurisdiction. Okay, so he enjoys confidentiality. But if he gets subpoenaed, the bank can reveal certain information. So what's cool about the concept is it's really interesting to talk on a protocol level, a cryptocurrency level. How do you do that? How do you link identity and privacy in the right way where you can ensure and preserve the rights of the minorities, of individuals, but at the same time be able to not deal with the dark sides of privacy? This is what we've been working on and thinking about for so long with Midnight. Another thing is, all privacy coins right now, all they really do is they keep the transaction private, the token private, the coin private. It's useful, which means you have to have smart contracts. You have to have programmability. So how do you have a private smart contract? It's a very interesting question. And actually, there's people in this room who wrote a beautiful paper called Kachina that tries to answer that question. And there's people in this room who took some time to actually implement that paper and create their own virtual machine. And they use TypeScript as the programming language. Go figure. Compile it and run it. Wow. So that's what we've been working on. And it's been a hell of a long road, 4 long years of deep R&D. Lots of team members, tons of papers. We published all of them. So this is a new blockchain. What does it need? It needs decentralization. It needs security. It needs infrastructure. It needs liquidity. It needs an ecosystem. Every new blockchain needs that. Cardano actually has it. It's on 200 exchanges. There's over 20 wallets that support Cardano. We have millions of people floating around doing interesting things. We have an incredible ecosystem filled with all these great developers and academics and wonderful people. So it'd be real cool if Cardano could give that to Midnight. But what's Midnight going to give back to Cardano? Because partnerships are partnerships. Well, if Midnight's got a token, in this case we call it Dust, then what happens is as the stake pool operators maintain the Midnight ledger with those high performance, high throughput protocols, what they're going to do is they pay rewards back to the stake pool operators and the ADA holders. So some point when Midnight launches, you get Dust and ADA instead of just ADA. See? So everybody in Cardano land benefits from that partnership. Suddenly we're not as adversarial as we used to be, right? That's how we should be thinking when we think about cooperation and interoperability. And this is the dream of 4 years of hard work. And there's going to be some great presentations tomorrow about ACE. And we have a lot of cool stuff. I think there might even be a website at some point up, if not today, then soon. And there's all kinds of great stuff that's floating out here, and you guys are just going to be blown away by the amount of progress that we've been able to do.
Thank you so much. This is Charles Hoskinson explaining a great invention 1 year ago. As I'm talking to you now, this technology is at an advanced stage. In 2025, 2026, those of you who have got ADA, there is already, go to Midnight website and learn how you receive Dust tokens. Now, I will summarize, not take a lot. Those who came late, I'm going to give you the link, and then you will, on your own, go through this, because definitely wherever you are going to be interacting, you are going to be interacting with people. And this is one of the technology, believe me. All right, thanks, Nana, for your help. This is one of the technology, definitely. People will be asking you, or you will be explaining to them, or you will be taking part in as a developer. All right. There was somebody who said you would like to have an explanation of a decentralized identity. Is there anyone here who can help to explain? We've got some people who are very big here in Cardano. Nana Safo, you are welcome. If I didn't see some here, please, you are welcome. Feel free and take part and assist. Your presence here is very good for newcomers. But the question was, what is a decentralized identity? Anyone who would like to explain from your understanding of a decentralized identity? No problem. I will quickly give you some examples so that you understand it here. So what I have here is this security. And then here we will have an explanation of what ZK is. And then it uses a DID, a decentralized identity. Right. First, I'll start from the identities that we are using, national identities. When you go to somewhere, they will always want to authorize or authenticate you. And then normally there is a card or whatever, you give it to them that has got information. But that information is coming from the government. It is issued by a central authority. So that government has got that information on their database. You go to China, they've got their own Chinese database and they've got information about the Chinese. They want to protect, they don't want Americans to know. Americans, they also have got their own information which they don't want probably the Chinese to have to get hold of, or any country has got that information. But that information is being kept by somebody. A DID, a decentralized identity, you keep that information. So when you get to places where you need to prove who you are, for example, you're crossing a border, you don't give them the passport that gives them everything. You prove to them that you are from a certain country that is allowed to enter this country. So this way of doing that, it is a technology way. So it allows technologies to know each other and communicate with each other with integrity. Why? Because each technology on the Internet of Things, where technology or apps are talking to each other, they can challenge each other and pass the test and verify concerning that particular aspect that you need to be verified of. For example, if I'm moving from country A to country B, country B has got rules that says country A is allowed to come here. You only need to prove that you are from country B. Finish. Not to give them all lots of other information that is irrelevant. Because then they are going to have you. Then later on, when there is a problem, or you are mistaken, your identity has been stolen, identity theft, it's easy to steal other people's identities. You only target the database that has got all national population, all people, then you get everything. But what if each one of us, you keep your information, and then I use an app to prove to the other country's app that I truly belong to this country and I need to cross. And then that other country interacts with my DID app, and then it verifies, then I go. But when I leave that country after a holiday and I go back to another country, that country doesn't hold any useful information about me, except that I was a visitor, I went in there, and when I'm in there, my behavior again generates other credentials there. Was I a good visitor? Did I abide by the laws, or did I break the laws? The moment I break the laws there, when I go to another country, other country can easily discover that I failed to be a good visitor in this country without getting all other information. Then they can deny me entry. This is what decentralized identity means. In short, you, the individual, you keep all credentials to yourself. And then when the bank wants your credential for opening a financial account for you, you only prove to them that you qualify. Finish. If you want to buy a house, those people who are selling houses and everything, who are transacting these legal on houses, you give them only that credential which they need. Finish. All right, so this explains it more. You can see here, we've got applications on the right, and inside we've got Midnight, because Midnight is going to be a side chain, decentralized. So it's not going to be controlled by anyone, just like Cardano. We are going to have stakers, stake pool operators on this particular one, and we are going to be rewarded in dust. The whole ecosystem we have on Cardano is going to be there on Midnight. Right, and then it uses this ZKP part. So I have explained this. Give yourself more time, go through this link that I'm giving it to you. Let us open it up now to a little bit of discussions and questions. So here is the link. Any Any questions? Any discussions? Yes, Nana, over to you. You can unmute and speak. Right, Nana is saying, is Midnight built on Cardano as a sidechain or as a new blockchain application at large? It is a sidechain. What is a sidechain? Right. The security of Cardano, let's look at Cardano as a blockchain. It has got stake pool operators who verify the transactions that we have. And we have got developers who write smart contract that uses ADA. The whole ecosystem has got investors, it has got traders, it has got students, it has teachers, it has got social impact. And then all other governments can even take the blockchain and use it for other purposes. So Midnight is a Cardano side chain. Right, I hope this explains it. Then the next question is, if it is a side chain, what is its effect on Cardano as a blockchain and its currency? Right, Midnight currency is called Dust. Right, so ADA is the cryptocurrency for Cardano. Right, that is why it is a side chain of Cardano. That is why they promised that all those who are ADA holders, they can also receive airdrops, dust. Now you are going to see that because it is a Cardano side chain, it has all the benefits of Cardano. You don't need to learn other wallets to use this one. You will be using the same wallets you are using, Lace. It will work on the other side. All right. They have already taken a snapshot on 6.6 for those who are going to receive. Okay, so you can check your wallet, please. If your wallet by 6.6, it had ADA, they have taken the whole snapshot. Check under tokens there. There's somewhere where you see assets. You've got your ADA, there's assets. Check there. You might find dust. Hey, good luck. Whenever they have completed the airdrops. Thank you, Nana. Any other questions? Right. How to get the dust token? Okay, yes, you can now go straight and get the dust token and buy them, because when you buy these at an early stage, when they are launching like this, they are normally cheap. So you need to go to Midnight Network. I'm going to send the link here. The best thing is, before you buy, research a lot that you are on the right network. So here is the link. Look at this link. Okay. And then get the updated information there. If you go to the bottom, you are going to see their social. Twitter, Discord, Telegram, LinkedIn, YouTube, then you can join there. Right. Any other question? Thank you. We are left with 6 minutes. Any other question? Right. For those who are not developers, for those who are developers, can go to use the links I've given you. Go to the testnet, fork out. It is written in a program. The programming language for a Midnight is called Compact. It's a form of a TypeScript language. And then you can then from there, you'll easily familiarize yourself, follow through the examples they give you. And then because it will empower you going forward when they need applications on Midnight. Here is another Tsepo. The DID allows users to keep personal data. You made an example about what happens to the ecosystem between two countries. My question is, can two DID be working together, or does it mean that there should be a central ID and a DID? Very good question. DID, decentralized identity, is different from where I've got only one, like a national ID. I've got one card that is everything there. It is a new technology. It is a technology on a lot of big technology on its own. It has got what we call verifiable credentials. For example, my qualification at EPU, Bluetooth, okay, it can be one digit. Another one could be, I am married. So they want to say, okay, this service is only for married people in this area. So I can have a credential for marriage. Then there will be credential verifiers. Those are entities that verify these credentials. That is it true that this marriage is married in this area? They need to verify and then say yes. Then I'm allowed to get that service without giving them all lots of private information, which they don't need. That is why you find these organizations are making huge money out of it. That is what I can explain to you about it. It is a very big topic, technology in Cardano. Actually, I have got a lady by Anushka, who is an expert on Atala Prism, which is called SSI, Self-Sovereign Identity. It's a huge technology. Actually, on Catalyst, you can even apply for Catalyst grants. Many have been granted funds to go and develop applications using Atala Prism. You can check them. Right. Here is another question from Nana. What is the prerequisite programming skills needed to become an effective Midnight developer? Right, the first one. This one is going to be a little bit easier because it is JavaScript. If you know JavaScript, which is the most popular and the easiest to learn, and then you will be good to go with a Compact. Programming language for Midnight is called Compact. It is a version of TypeScript. Right, what is TypeScript? TypeScript is nothing but JavaScript with types. They take JavaScript, they added security called type system onto it to prevent developer errors there. So that is TypeScript. Here's another question. If Dust is the cryptocurrency for Midnight, what is the night? That is another question again. That is the question again. When you stake, I want to answer it correctly. Let me verify. When you stake your Dust, because remember, these people want an ecosystem for miners. If you have done this, farming, you will understand this. They've got another token maybe, which is called listing token for providing liquidity. Right, let me explain it here so that I don't make a mistake with this one. Just give me 1 second here. When you are in the, in the Midnight ecosystem, there are other services that you are going to do. For example, staking, becoming stake pool operators there. when you become a stake pool operator for Midnight, you are not going to earn your rewards in ADA. No, you are going to be incentivized to provide liquidity in another token called Night. Right. Please research on that to verify correctly if I have explained it correctly. Let me leave this one where I have explained it, that it is another needed governance token, either for providing liquidity. It could be used probably within Midnight to do some other services, an internal management token, medium of exchange there for outsiders. For example, let's say you provide liquidity, and then what do you get back? Probably you'll be receiving dust. The more dust you get, you can redeem it for dust. The more nights you have, you can redeem them for dust. Yeah, that is what I can explain for now. All right, we have reached the end of our time. I've learned that it was the token for the airdrops. What you need to know is if you receive the dust as an airdrop, you can later on exchange it for dust token. And then the other thing I can tell you again, if you've got dust token on your wallet lace, you'll be able to swap it for ADA. Because these are one blockchain, one is the main blockchain, the other one is the side blockchain. All right. Thank you very much. I think we have reached the end.
Thank you so
Awesome.
much, sir.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir.
Let's call it a day for today. Let's say fireworks. It was marvelous today. Thank you. Right. I'm having problems with the mint token, and my facilitator said there was a problem with the. Right, Seppo. I'm going to move the old app now out, and I'm going to set in a new app. But this session is not for that. Allow me to close this session, the recording. Then from here,